What do you hope to achieve through the Agile pathways?
So I think the main thing for us is about engaging young people. I think we're recognising that the curriculum isn't meeting everybody's needs, and a consequence of that, I guess, is that not everyone's attending classes. So ultimately it's engagement that's leading into attendance for us. And I guess we're talking about attendance in terms of young people not coming to school, but also young people coming into school but then not necessarily going to their classes. And so we're trying to give them an offer that we think will really engage. Currently, that's including things like stonemasonry, roofing, construction. We've got beauty courses going on, and we're about to open a student-led cafe.
I'm part of the construction course, so we build like this, all the fence over there, all them, those trestles were built by a teacher. That's the roofing course that a couple of my mates do. Then you got the stonemasonry around the corner that's just been built.
I'm Lewis, I'm working with Future Skills Development, and I'm in here with the pupils teaching them how to do a Nat 5 roofing course.
We're building log stores to sell, and we build them, paint them from scratch, screw them all together, then paint them and sell them. And it gives us equipment to get stuff like cargoes and stuff like boiler suits and more drills and more equipment to do a construction course, so it's nice.
It's an association thing, so like I know when I put these on I'm going to do stonemasonry, so there's like an excitement about it. So it's like you've got to wear these, but it means your clothes don't get messy, you don't rip, tear, and you don't come out looking like a bit of a hobo kind of thing. It's raggedy and hair fluffed up everywhere.
We've got boiler suits in this school, like these blue boiler suits they get, and there was definitely that sort of, well, I'll put this on, and there was almost like a visual identity that went along with that, and they were like, oh, these guys are doing a bit of construction stuff, and they felt kind of quite proud of that. I can imagine we've got the hats for them. It definitely has that sort of building site feel that they don't get in the workshop, so there's a sense of identity goes there.
In terms of identifying young people for Agile Pathways, I think it's about knowing our young people, and I think we know them well. We've got a great partnership with our DYW and SDS, and through them we gather data on young people twice a year, finding out about where they want to go, what their pathway is, and so we're trying to marry that information together and that data with attendance data, and thinking about the cohort that are needing support into something and thinking what is it they want to do and seeing if we can facilitate that. We also run 16 plus meetings very regularly and year group meetings, and through that we're identifying young people that are struggling with attendance. And that's throughout the whole school, so whilst a lot of the focus around what we're doing in Agile Pathways is senior phase, it's also looking at young people in the BGE and thinking, can we give them a kind of taster of these experiences that we're creating so that they can see what's coming, they can see the pathway ahead.
I think one of the kids says this was like their best lesson of the week type thing, but they look forward to it because they weren't sat in a classroom, and I know like some people don't really focus as well in a classroom, so coming sort of out here, fresh air, sort of getting to work hands on, like sometimes the 2.5 hours just like fly by for them, so it's probably a wee bit better than sitting in a classroom for them, I'd imagine.
Well, this is more practical, and this is more like what I want to do in my future. So I'd rather be here than say a French class or like maths class, because I'm a physical learner kinda. So when I do this, it kind of supports me with my future career.
Over here you have like a bit more freedom. You get to like a completely new set of skills than everywhere else. It's not something like up here like occasionally. It just showed up and they'll just hit my phone with it.
I struggle with some of the other subjects like maths and engineering science and physics and GraphCom, basically everything else. But since stonemasonry and even metalwork and silversmithing, there's become a lot more variety put into the practical subjects, especially within CDT, and I personally have really benefited from that because I've always loved the practical side of school, so it's helped engage me with more school and keep me here.
So for the young people that are engaging in Agile Pathways, there absolutely has been an improvement in their attendance. They're telling us that they like the courses, they're telling us they're feeling more motivated, not even just for those courses, but actually in school in general, because it's something that they're looking forward to. I think it's improving relationships. And I think what we're hoping is that whilst this is really targeted support for targeted cohorts, we're hoping that actually the whole school benefit, because what we're beginning to see is that young people that were walking around the corridors are actually in classes, and the benefit to that is obviously felt by everybody. So definite improvement. I think our challenge is to grow the offer.
Yeah, it's nice. It gives me a wee break and it gives me something to look forward to, like at the end of the week, going through all my classes. I just think, oh, I've got my construction course on Friday, so it just kind of gives me something to look forward to.
There's certainly a few kids that we've got doing it just now who I think maybe weren't attending classes as much as they could have been. So I think we've caught a few who were maybe falling off the sort of school wagon, or maybe a wee bit. So we've got a few here that are now engaged in something where they maybe weren't before. So yeah, I suppose there's an avenue there to get maybe some of the non-attenders into something that they wouldn't have had otherwise.
I've been on time more this last 6 months because of stonemasonry than I have been over the past 5 years, I think. I've not had a good track record with attendance. The motivation to come in and do this has been massive, because it's a really fun thing to do. It's something a bit different. It's not, you can put parallels with other stuff, but this is really unique and something which is quite special.
Yeah, improved my attendance. I didn't usually come in on a Friday before I had my course, but now that I've got it, I started focusing on it, and I started focusing in school altogether. And I don't think I've missed a couple of days here and there, but I've been in every time because I've got this to look forward to at the end of the week, so it gives me something exciting.
Coming to this makes me want to show up on time, makes me want to put more of an effort into coming here, because something I actually enjoy doing, and like something I feel like I can actually do well in.
There's definitely a positive attitude towards this from others. I see kids who are not, for whatever reason, attending all of their classes, but they'll regularly attend this, without a shadow of doubt.
Oh, 100%. About 6 months ago, before I started this, I was thinking, where do I go? Do I go to college, do metalwork, joinery, plumbing? I always knew it was something practical, but I started doing this and I was like, I'm getting an apprenticeship. When can I apply? What do I do? Who do I ask? And now I'm looking to try to find work experience to get some more practice in, and I'm putting feelers out to try to find an apprenticeship. And I couldn't see myself doing anything else. I really, this is my future, hopefully. So I've spent a lot of time in here putting practice in.
It's a pilot project, so I think that hasn't really been done anywhere else before, so it's been interesting to see, if some of them do engage. We've been talking about James, he's going to move on to be a stonemason, that's kind of without doubt, I don't think, and 3 or 4 others who sort of really applied themselves to it and so seem to get something out of it.
I think having the outside companies and stuff coming in and kind of helping them is helping with that, because they've got somebody who's in that career talking to them, and they're able to see somebody who's in that job teaching them the skills that they've got from doing that job. So I think that's helping them to see that there's a link to something outside the school.
We've got two guys at the moment, Lewis for the roofing and Derek for the stonemason stuff, and both of them again here every week, on time, reliable, and I think Lewis with the roofing, it's a few weeks ago he just had an opportunity that one of his jobs was over the road, and he just sort of handpicked a few guys and like, let's get you on the scaffold and let's get you on the roof, and off they went. And I mean that local tie of a close by job and having a tradesman with access to a site was fantastic. The kids loved it. They were up putting slates on the roof, I believe, and that's not possible with CDT teaching staff at the moment. I mean, we'll try our best to put things in place, but that access to the real world jobs, I mean, that's invaluable, really, and they think that's brilliant.
They kind of know that this is going to set them up for the rest of their life, whether it's in roofing or whether it's doing another part of construction. All the sort of skills that they're learning here, like basic stuff like using the hammer, tape measure, tidying up, setting stuff out and stuff like that, it all comes together when you're out on building sites. You'd be amazed with the amount of people that come on site and they don't know how to use a tape measure and how to like mark a straight line and stuff like that. So it's all that sort of info that if they take it in, they've done the sort of same process. This is probably the third time they're doing it now, so they can remember it for the first time. So they're saying, right, this is how we done that, this is how we done that, and it's coming to them more naturally than kind of standing asking me all the questions, which is good. And even sort of working in their pairs, I think they're a lot more confident asking each other questions and helping each other out than just coming straight to me.
So I think just giving them something now, so that step further on when they start an apprenticeship will really sort of boost the speed that they can sort of pick things up and be useful to their employer, to actually sort of be an asset to the company, which will then encourage them to maybe put a bit more into the trainees and allow them to do a few more things, as well as companies have to make money and they need to sort of make sure that their apprentices are trained to do the things that they do.
It's great to see some of the kids just sort of take charge in there, and that's what really, when I walk away from that, I'm like, this guy, he's really enjoyed that today, because he was taking charge. He was shown that there was a level of sort of independence and interest that for me it makes it worthwhile. It's not just about me constantly, come on guys, let's do this, let's get this one job done. No, they're like, can I quickly finish this? And then they stepping back after it, and I often sometimes see them taking pictures of what they've produced that morning, whether it be a bit of fencing like this, whether it's some of the log stores that they make, other projects as well. But there is a sense of pride.
I think you can obviously see there's a difference between the generation when I was at school compared to now, but it's all about trying to give them the same or sort of a better opportunity than what I had, because when I was at school sort of 14 years ago, it was just like your standard subjects, and I think the one that everyone looked forward to was probably PE or something like that, or CDT, and now it's like there's all this stuff, and I know there's like a lot of other construction stuff, and there's like barista stuff and courses, so it seems to be that they're getting more opportunities, so fingers crossed they can get something out of it.
The breadth of the subjects that are being taught really is quite impressive. Perhaps back in the hires day, usually you do 3 if you want to go to university, you do 5, and that was it.
So the next steps is definitely about putting in more, growing the offer. We haven't cracked it yet. We've got, I think, a great range of activities, of courses for young people at the moment, but we need to keep growing that. We need to go back to the data. Who's not been kind of scooped up by what we're offering? What are they now selling us that they want to do? And trying to be creative and create different opportunities. What we're about to start is the student-led cafe, and that has been designed by the students. They've had a role in the graphics designs of that. They're painting it, and they will be staffing that, and we can see that really scooping up a lot of young people, giving them a great experience in a really different kind of learning environment.